The managers all have something to say today on SICW Wrestling Explosion. Hello, this is Larry Matisick. First, the well-known Big Daddy is back, and he's going to talk about a newcomer Big Daddy's bringing to SICW, Red River Jack. Then the controversial Travis Cook is going to explain why he thinks he's the best manager of all time. And finally, the famous Jim Cornette is going to dispute that claim Travis made. Add to that a classic moment with a six-man tag team duel. It's quite a day on Wrestling Explosion. Big Daddy's next, right after these messages. We have a gentleman that hasn't been seen around St. Louis for a while, hasn't been seen in Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling, and a lot of folks are going to be shocked to see him back. Big Daddy is here.
That's right, I'm back, and I came here for one reason, Larry.
What's that?
I got somebody that's going to tear this town apart. It's going to tear it down, I'm telling you. It's Red River Jack. If there's any of you people that have been around for about 30 years, you'll remember Red River Jack from a long, long time ago. He wears a mask, so nobody, including me, even know who he is. But I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to tear the house down.
So you're bringing Red River Jack to Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling?
That's correct.
Any other reasons that may be motivated?
Yeah, there's a reason, all right, Larry. And you know what it is. It's that weasel Travis. Travis, he gets in my way. I come over, try to enjoy a night, smoke a cigar, hang around with you bunch of Hoosiers and stuff over here. And then all of a sudden, he's in my face. I don't understand it. I didn't do nothing. I come over here. I'm a peaceful type guy. You know that, Larry.
Big Daddy, you're handcuffed to him. You're handcuffed to him. If you remember that, and then you tried to strangle him with the handcuff.
I try to forget being handcuffed any time that I can, Larry. You know what I'm saying? Unless, of course, I got the key. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
But I do remember that now that you had to bring it up, because I don't like that kind of stuff. But when somebody puts me into a corner, I got no other way to go than to go back to what I know the best, and that's managing and taking care of business.
Okay, so now you're bringing back Red River Jack. What goals? Do you have a goal for does Red River Jack have a goal?
Larry, you have to ask me that question. You know that Big Daddy is the best, and all I ever expect out of anybody that I manage is the best. So when we come over here, if there's a classic championship belt, it's ours. Anything that we need to do, we'll put people in their places, one by one, whatever we got to do, but we'll throw them down on the ground and stomp on them like we always do until the belt is held high by Red River Jack.
Talk to me a little bit about Red River Jack. What kind of wrestler is he? Is he scientific? Is he somebody gets up in the air, a bunch of drop kicks, flying heads?
No. You know that. I don't care for that stuff, man. I don't care for. I like some butt kicking. This guy comes in. He's a mysterious fellow, Larry.
He is?
He comes in a mask. You don't know who he is. You don't know where he's coming from. As far as I know, I write the checks out and put a question mark there. You know, because I don't even know who cashes them. But I'll tell you this: when he comes in, when he gets into the ring, and I'll tell you. He doesn't always like to stay in the ring, if you know what I mean.
Red River Jack.
Red River Jack doesn't like to stay in the ring. It closes him in because since he's from the Red River, he's used to roaming around with them steers and them bulls and all that stuff down there. You know, down there in Texas and all that stuff, you know, even though, you know, like I've been down there a few times myself, you know.
Well, no, okay, we talk about Red River Jack. Let's talk about Big Daddy being back managing again. In the past, you've had a few bumps with promoter Herb Simmons from SICW.
Yeah,
is that going to be a problem?
Not as long as the checks are clear. As long as the check's clear, we're okay, Larry.
Okay for
you know, he's a weasel, and you know he's a weasel. You've been dealing with him for 20, 30 years. You know exactly. Yeah, you know him. You hear that? You know him. You know him. Yeah, he's a weasel. But I'll tell you what, as long as I take care of business, he stays out of my business, everything will be okay.
So in other words, we can probably expect with Red River Jack having Big Daddy in his corner, it's going to be kind of exciting.
The most exciting thing that's happened in this place in years.
July 26th, East Carondelet. Ox Baker will be on hand when the Classic Championship is up for grabs. Title holder Ironman Ken Casa, managed by Travis Cook, opposes challenger Heath Hatton. It's Saturday, July 26th at the East Carondelet Community Center. Ricky Cruz tangles with Daniel Eads, plus Jake Durden, Flash Flanagan, Gary Jackson, Big Jim Hoforth, Jazz Wesson, Big Daddy with Red River Jack, and more. For tickets, call 286-4848. Casa versus Hatton. Cruz versus Eads. Meet Ox Baker in person. Saturday, July 26th in East Carondelet. One fine night in East Carondelet, Travis Cook and Jim Cornette were both at the community center. Hang on for what happened. Here's Travis on a rant.
Cornette! Mr. Jim Cornette, you know, unlike you, who goes on RF all these interviews and you hide behind the camera when you're trashing people, if I've got something to say to you, I will say it to your face. So with that in mind, Mr. Cornette, I would like you to come down to this ring because I've got a few things to say to you. want you to walk on down here or waddle on down here or whatever it is you have to do, because I got a bone to pick with you, Mr. James E. Cornette. All right? You see, if there's one thing that's plagued the wrestling business for the last 20 years, it's old, has-been, out-of-shape people that will cling to their spot and they won't get out of the way for the younger. As I was saying, if there's one thing the wrestling business is plagued by, is people like you that won't get out of the way for the real talent of this business. You are a has-been, you barely worth something, you had a career, what, 20, 30 years ago. And what you need to know is that this is the house that Travis built. You see this sellout crowd? You see this sellout crowd? I drew this house tonight. Can concentrate, yes, I drew this house like I do every single month. I built this thing. I'm the straw that stirs the drink, and here you come in trying to get a free meal off of Herb Simmons and take money out of this joint that I earned because I sold the tickets. And I'm getting sick and tired of it. You might be able to throw your weight around everywhere, but the thing is, you've been fired by every wrestling office in the country, so you're out of options. You don't have any place else you can go. You're like Ron Powers, you're perpetually unemployed. So what I'm telling you is this, you're not going to make a free buck in my ring, in my building, in front of my people. My people. These people love me. Now what you're going to do, you see how they're cheering? What you're going to do, because you don't have a choice, you don't have the Midnight Express with you, you don't have Big Brother or anybody else with you, what you're going to do is you're going to turn around, you're going to leave this ring, you're going to get out of my building, you're going to get out of my town, and you're going to get out of my state of Illinois. In fact, let's get some cops out here to escort you out, because I don't trust that you'll leave without giving us a problem. Cops, get the cops out here. You're no good to me anymore. Get to stepping.
You know, I don't even really know where to begin. You look like you're on the board of directors of a massage parlor. You talk about you got an organization, right?
Yes, I do. The Travis Cook organization. You've heard of us.
Who organized that suit for you?
Hey, this is fashionable. It's what they're wearing in San Francisco.
Hey, you know what? Hold on here. This one appears to be a little louder because I got a few things to say. First of all, you bald-headed, short, squat, baked potato-looking son of a gun. I don't appreciate coming out here and being talked to like that, especially by somebody like you. I take pills bigger than you. I've stepped over better men than you to get to a fight, and you couldn't whip half of me with the other half helping you. But as far as what you just said about this being your ring and your town and your people, do you love him? Well, that sounds pretty unanimous. Did you come here to see him? You see, these people couldn't warm up to you if you were cremated with them. All you do is run your mouth and cause problems and hide behind your boys. And I know exactly what you're doing because I spent a career doing it. I spent a career stirring people up with my mouth and letting my wrestlers fight. But you know what? The difference was I actually made them some money when I managed them. You guys are so broke they can't pay attention. This isn't your ring, this isn't my ring, this isn't anybody's ring except the people of the Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling. These people. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. So I tell you what, as far as your police escort, I'm sure you've had a few. You looked real comfortable when you were handcuffed earlier tonight. like you've been there several times before. You know, he had a lawyer one time that was so good he got a sodomy charge reduced to tailgating. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you one pass, Mr. Travesty. I'm going to give you one pass because I have an anger management issue, and sometimes I get physical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going to sign autographs, and you gum-bumping sack of snake feces, you can stand here and flap those lips all you want because nobody's listening because all you are is a sack of hot air. Did you just say if I didn't have this tennis racket in my hand, you would not be in the next week?
That's exactly what I said, because that's the only way you hits from Kentucky know how to fight. You gotta have a weapon in your hand. I'm a master of the martial arts. If you didn't have that weapon here, I would knock you straight in the next week, and everybody in here knows I do it, so you're lucky.
Rolling or walking.
Ox Baker will be on hand when the Classic Championship is up for grabs. Title holder Ironman Ken Casa, managed by Travis Cook, opposes challenger Heath Hatton. It's Saturday, July 26th at the East Carondelet Community Center. Ricky Cruz tangles with Daniel Eads, plus Jake Durden, Flash Flanagan, Gary Jackson, Big Jim Hoforth, Jazz Wesson, Big Daddy with Red River Jack, and more. For tickets, call 286-4848. Casa versus Hatton. Cruz versus Eads. Meet Ox Baker in person, Saturday, July 26th in East Carondelet. It's October 2nd, 1983, and a St. Louis Classic six-man tag team battle. Spike Huber, Tom Prichard, and Dominic DeNucci versus Killer Karl Cox, Eric Embry, and Tully Blanchard.
At any rate, okay, here's the background of the situation. Go back to July, two-ring battle royal. It ends up with Spike Huber and Tully Blanchard. Huber gets the trophy, goes home the big winner. Then they're involved in a tag match here on St. Louis Wrestling. A lot of trouble between them. Huber's team emerges victorious. Then Tully Blanchard beats Spike Huber's protege, Brian Madden from Belleville, right in the middle of the ring. And he takes great joy in rubbing that into Spike Huber. Then there's a tag match where Huber and Blanchard are involved. Blanchard comes off the top rope onto the leg of Spike Huber after the match, after everything was over. Brought on Blanchard's disqualification, but it nearly crippled Spike Huber and put him in a bad way for an upcoming bout with Adrian Adonis. Now, more is developed. A tag match on September the 17th when Huber caused Tully Blanchard to fall. The referees didn't see Huber trip Blanchard. And once again, here today it's broken out. That's why we've signed a Texas death match between Huber and Blanchard. Huber trying to come to the aid of Dominic DeNucci. Embry and Cox trapping DeNucci and pounding on him. A Texas death match. The first one ever in St. Louis was between Whipper Billy Watson and Gene Koniski back in 1961. There have been some great ones. Johnny Valentine and Buddy Austin. Fritz Von Erich and Dick the Bruiser. Well, now it's Huber and Blanchard. Falls don't count.
I guess that's the match you have to make with those two because...
had no choice. It was getting out of hand.
That's right.
Cox having trouble with Dominic DeNucci. He says, check my teeth. Check my teeth. Embry knocked off the apron by Dominic DeNucci. Will have his hands full next Friday against the Freebird, Terry Gordy. Anyhow, in a Texas death match, let's go over it one more time. For those who aren't familiar, falls don't count. Anything goes. No disqualification. No time limit. Only choking's banned, and the only way we really enforce that, for every incidence of choking, there's a fine levied. That keeps the people from choking. Other than that, anything goes. Want to throw a man over the top rope? Go right ahead. Want to jump off the top rope on somebody? Go right ahead. Huber, Blanchard, this is their chance. They want to hurt each other. That's the only way they can win, because the winner's declared when one man cannot continue.
5 minutes have elapsed, 10 minutes left.
Here comes Eric Embry up on the second rope. DeNucci being held by Killer Karl Cox. Cox has the tag rope that he's using on the head of DeNucci. We mentioned Murdoch, of course, in reference to Killer Karl Cox. Cox was a man who broke Murdoch into wrestling, and Murdoch has a big match coming up with Jerry Oates as part of a triple main event.
And there's no love there either.
Oh,
the two of them.
Not at all. I don't know where Tully Blanchard is, but I know he's going to be right in the target, right in the sights of Spike Huber in that Texas death match. Cox and DeNucci. Cox pounding on DeNucci. Killer Karl Cox. DeNucci trying to get over and make a tag with either Huber or Tom Prichard. Here comes Eric Embry. There's that atomic knee drop outside the ring delivered by Huber. You can see Tully Blanchard after he caught his spine on the knee, and now watch Huber lift Blanchard for the body slam on the cement floor. Oh, right on the cement of the arena floor. And Tully Blanchard departed. And now it's 3 against 2. Prichard, Huber, and DeNucci against Embry and Cox. Embry locking the head. DeNucci, a lot of strength there. He threw Embry over the top. Crawls over to Huber. Spike Huber tears it Eric Embry. Embry whipped to the rope. Did you hear that?
Wow.
Crack right in the cheekbone. Here comes young Tommy Prichard, a fine young athlete. Look at this, both men in the ring. Up, over the top. Prichard and Huber, a double backdrop. Leg drop by Prichard. He was as high as the top rope when he was up in that air. Embry fighting back against Prichard. Into a hammerlock. Nice switch around by Prichard. He goes to the leg. Oh, a karate move, a savate move, really, by Eric Embry as he clubbed Prichard right in the head. Embry, the whip, reversed. Embry hits the corner. And a savate move by Prichard. Oh, that made that crowd
How about that Prichard? I'm telling you.
Tommy Prichard's a big favorite as far as Mickey Garagiola's concerned. This kid's got something that...
He came in the back way on that one. That was great.
And he's got color. He's got fire. There's something in this Tommy Prichard. You gotta like him. DeNucci yelling advice. That's a heck of a six-man combination. The experience of DeNucci, the youthful fire of Tom Prichard, and the steel heart of Spike Huber. Karl Cox puts Prichard to the ropes, catches him coming off with an elbow. Cox covers Prichard. Count of one. Prichard's free. Dominic DeNucci right there to help in case it was needed. Here comes Eric Embry. Embry pounds on Prichard. Prichard fighting right back. Embry grabs Prichard's tights. Tags killer Karl Cox. It's 3 against 2 because Tully Blanchard's disappeared for parts unknown.
I tell you, Blanchard comes back in. I think it'll be 5 guys happening. I don't think Karl Cox and Embry has respect for him. No, they don't have no respect.
Tully Blanchard becoming an island onto himself. Cox misses with an uppercut. Whoop! He's over there, Karl. There he is. There he goes. Drop kick by Prichard. Tag made to Dominic DeNucci, the Italian stallion, huh?
Oh, yeah, that's him, man. That's my man. Boom.
Headbutt by Cox.
Oh,
Whoop.
no way,
Whoop.
no way.
That backfired. That was killing Cox. Tag made to Embry. Embry wants to fight. DeNucci says, okay. He knows the Freebird will want to fight. Big Terry Gordy, one of the fabulous Freebirds, the man who says he has the Oriental spike that was taught to him by Professor Toru Tanaka. We know all about Tanaka here. Something that DeNucci will have to look out for as part of that triple main event on the Autumn Wrestling Spectacular next Friday. Flying Heel by Dominic DeNucci. Embry in the corner. DeNucci, you see that experience. He was careful, but even at that, Embry, a tough young customer, managed to score the kick. DeNucci fights back. Embry with a kick. An elbow smash to the neck. Embry working on the neck of Dominic DeNucci, then a knee lift to DeNucci. Tag made to killer Karl Cox, but DeNucci's winning. Headbutt by DeNucci. Cox grabs the windpipe. Cox grabs the nose. Killer wanted to be a dentist. Tried to teach that to Dick Murdoch. Murdoch didn't get the idea. Killer's frustrated. He's trying to work on DeNucci in the mouth. Dominic DeNucci flipped up and over the top by killer Karl Cox. Cox isn't on top for long. DeNucci's been there before. He's been in big matches everywhere, from the Cow Palace to Madison Square Garden.
10 minutes have expired, 5 minutes left.
Dominic DeNucci with the abdominal stretch. Killer Karl Cox in the ring. Oop. DeNucci hit in the head by Cox. I don't know exactly what Cox hit him with, but DeNucci obviously staggered. Oh, a double body slam on Embry by Huber and Prichard. DeNucci giant splash. DeNucci with the giant splash and Embry, the referee down. Count of 1, 2, 3. Dominic DeNucci making the pin after a double body slam by Prichard and Huber. So the one shot. Here comes Blanchard. Blanchard after Huber again. Blanchard, a Pearl Harbor attack on Huber. Blanchard and Huber toe-to-toe. Cox helping to double team the man. Huber got away. It's a Donnybrook, Huber and Blanchard. Huber going out after him. There goes Blanchard running again.
Ox Baker will be on hand when the Classic Championship is up for grabs. Title holder Ironman Ken Casa, managed by Travis Cook, opposes challenger Heath Hatton. It's Saturday, July 26th at the East Carondelet Community Center. Ricky Cruz tangles with Daniel Eads, plus Jake Durden, Flash Flanagan, Gary Jackson, Big Jim Hoforth, Jazz Wesson, Big Daddy with Red River Jack, and more. For tickets, call 286-4848. Casa versus Hatton. Cruz versus Eads. Meet Ox Baker in person, Saturday, July 26th in East Carondelet. So who is Red River Jack, this client of Big Daddy? We'll get a look Saturday, January 26th, when Red River Jack makes his debut at the East Carondelet Community Center. Certainly Jim Cornette and Travis Cook stirred up enough trouble today, especially involving Classic champion Ironman Ken Casa and Heath Hatton. Also on July 26th, the fiery young Hatton gets a crack at the Classic crown belonging to Casa. Today was another fine example of why you want to tune in every week for SICW Wrestling Explosion.